Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. Day 2 of the Tashkent Grand Slam has wrapped up. Much better day on day 2, a lot more techniques. And I do want to start with this. I'm not sure what I should call it, but it's just cool to see when someone gets a yuko, a wazari, and an ippon in one contest. Now Galstian, he went through and won under 73. I'll show you the extremely exciting gold medal contest in a minute. But here's the wazari. And now the final score for ippon, it was just a wazari, but I mean rolls over into the hold down. Definitely would have been an ippon here in such a dominant position. So that's really cool to see. And then here's the exciting final. Unfortunately, Lavrentev injury potentially didn't turn up in the final. And so Galstian, he takes gold at under 73. This is his fight in the semi-final. A nice Uchimata. Head diving, but we can do that now. So that's really nice to see. It's great. These athletes, they know what they're doing. Totally safe. No problems with it. Now this is Lavrentev, and this is an awkward situation to be in. And he does get a score here. And then here in the next one, against Gobert, gets 2 scores. So if you're wondering who sent Gobert to the repechage, it was Lavrentev. So not sure exactly what happened heading into the final, but I guess it was an injury. So a silver medal for him. And this has been a kind of a trend over the last couple of days. Russians, I did say Russians, taking all the gold medals, and someone got angry with me because a Dagestani took one of the gold medals yesterday, but also Russians taking golds, and then a lot of Uzbekistan guys taking the bronze medals. So here we have Ahadov and Nomanov in the bronze medal contest. And I'm going to continue saying this point, but I think the gold medals and the bronze medal contests should go to a score. This is not a fun way to end. You know, I'm not sure what they can do. Maybe 4 shidos, or I don't know, maybe they just get rid of the penalties for gripping offenses. I'm not sure. Maybe a strong warning, hey, the next one and you're gone, so you really have to kind of, you know, push it and then it's clear. I'm not sure. I just don't like the medal contests not ending without a score. So one of the bronzes to Ahadov and the other went to Gobert. This score here, the Ochigari, was actually a yuko. They did look at it. Now just a couple more highlights, some nice techniques and a little bit of newaza before we talk about the results at under 81s. Now this is really nice. I mean, we see Tomoe Juji all the time, especially from Tsunada, but this one's an interesting one. I think this is called Sode Guruma Jime. So I think more people should try things like this, especially after a Tomoe Nage attempt, looking for submissions, even going for a Tomoe Nage and then maybe looking for a sweep. Lots of sweeps that are popular in BJJ could be effective from that position. Now how about this Uchimata? This kid here, he is 19 years of age, I think I heard from the commentary. Next is counter from Nomanov. Your guess is as good as mine as to what to call this technique. I do want to say Wakare, but who knows, could be Sumiyotoshi. Now, just a last bit of highlights from under 73 Gobert. He gets a Sankaku here. And Toshev, it is a bit unfortunate this was his first match in front of his home country. He obviously didn't want to go out like this, so I think he decided not to tap. And then we're going to have a look at the doctors come on over, and we can kind of see what they're doing before they pan the camera away. So you can see he's out here, you can see his arm goes limp. Gobert, very good, fast to recognize that. And he's quick to, maybe quicker than the referee to call people over. Now this doctor, interesting, unties the belt, raises the legs. Obviously raising the legs is very common. Still unconscious. Hand has come up, and then this doctor comes over and you can see turns his head to the side. So I guess that's a common practice and something we should look to do in these situations. Now moving on up to under 81s, Abuzov went through the competition, took gold, and in this contest as well, another really nice piece of shimewaza to get it done. And I know there was one person from Dagestan, but I mean they all are from that region, and I guess even if they were allowing them to compete, it would be under the Russian flag. So under 60, 66, 73 and 81s, all medals going to Russia, which is pretty incredible. I wonder if there's ever been a clean sweep for all the weight categories for one country. That would be a really cool thing to see. Now this is a semi-final. Togiev, I mean, he lost to Arbazov, but gets a nice throw here. Walks home with a silver medal. That's really nice for him. Now Arbazov, earlier on, he was up against Fujiwara, and this is a really nice seoi-nage. We're going to have a look at it again. Now, what's interesting to me is Arbazov, he takes a top grip and then releases it. And generally, I mean, in my opinion, if you get a top grip, you shouldn't take it off. But in this situation, I mean, it just worked perfectly for him. He was really quick, beat Fujiwara to the punch. Now, Fujiwara, he did make it all the way to the bronze medal contest, but in his first match, this is it here, went deep into golden score, 5 minutes, I think, against a Chinese judoka. Now this is the score in the quarterfinal. And this is a really nice Taniotoshi. Now Fujiwara, he didn't look too good. I mean, there was that long first contest that he had, and then on a couple of photos on Instagram from the Japan team, he just looked really drained. So I wonder if the weight cut was affecting him at all. Now, in the bronze medal contest up against Zubanazar here, Fujiwara, he'll go for a seoi-nage. And then, obviously, you can see from this angle, a little bit unsure as to what happened. It does look like Zubanazar gets a counter. So they do go and have a look at the referee commission. But when you have a look at it from this angle, and we'll see it a few more times, you can definitely see that's a really good counter from Zubanazar. Absorbs the throw. Fujiwara, I mean, starts the technique, but Zubanazar takes over, takes control, redirects it, and I think that's a good score. So that put him a wazari ahead, and then he stayed ahead for the rest of the contest. Fujiwara couldn't get it done. So under 81s, it's interesting for Japan right now. Nagase getting up there in age, but I think if no one steps up to the plate, I mean, he'll try, he'll compete maybe once or twice a year. And then I think he'll probably try and go for that next Olympics. What's that, 4 for him? Which, I mean, that's going to be a tall task to ask. In my opinion, I think someone's going to step up to the plate. Maybe Oino. Now this is the other bronze medal contest. Sobirov versus Omarov. And Omarov with the Yuko on the score at the moment. Uchigari Osoto from Sobirov gets countered. Sumiotoshi taken down to the ground. And then, as you can see, the time on the clock ticking away. So, Omarov, he takes the bronze medal at under 81s. Now, before we go on to the women's categories, I do want to show you guys some nice highlights because there was some really great stuff at under 81s. This Osotogari just controlled well all the way to the end. Here we've got the classic Ashibarai, kind of faking on the inside and then going on the out. And that was how Zubanazar lost and headed into the repechage. Big pick up here from Togiev. And now a couple of highlights from Arbazov. And pay attention to his sleeve grip. So they're definitely allowing those sorts of things more now, especially if you're being aggressive and kind of pushing the action. Here's another one from Arbazov. And this is a really nice sequence. Looks for the pickup, goes for the big hip throw, and then attacks with the kochi. And he really just waited for his opponent's weight to kind of fall on that leg for the kochi. Zubanazar again with a nice throw. And then I like this Uchimata too, just real controlled. Put his opponent in just a bad position and then went for the technique. And then this was a really nice sequence too. Goes down to the ground, starts looking for the sankaku, but on the return. And I think the referee was almost going to say mate, but something happened. So I think that's just exciting stuff in judo when you see things go to the ground, back up to the stand-up, the scrambles. It's really nice to see. Now under 63, Yamaguchi getting the osaikomi here. So the Japanese not doing that well at this Grand Slam, but I mean they're not sending out the best guys right now. The 2 bronze medal contests at under 63 went to score, which is something that I'm kind of big on right now. Seeing a score in a medal contest is great. 3 scores is even better, and that's what Tatsukawa did in this contest here. Yuko here. This next one, I mean, it's like borderline Yuko, but they do say sitting like this and having the upright posture being 90 degrees and, you know, slightly towards the back, they'll give Yuko for that. And then here, the final throw. Wazari into the Osaikomi. Now moving up to under 70, Maeda. Uchi no Tasukashi here, and they gave that ippon. Now, Maeda at under 70, someone who I haven't seen a lot of. It's definitely going to be interesting. She does definitely have the skills, and looks a bit strong at under 70 as well, which is something the Japanese can kind of struggle with at the heavier weights, especially in the women's categories. Good newaza too, so we'll keep an eye on Maeda. And then the 2 bronze medal contests, more scores, which was good to see. Tani Toshi here by Liao, and then 2 scores from Sosimaro. So that's it for day 2, guys. I hope you enjoyed the highlights. I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Peace.
Ochigari again. Yes, that's it.